So today I thought I would show you the place that I consider my gym nowadays. There's exactly 157 steps to go all the way up to the upper part of the city. For those of you who don't know, I actually live in Quebec City in Canada, and it feels good to be here because since the pandemic happened, the gyms are completely closed here, and the lack of physical activities definitely created a mental and physical strain. When I first started coming here in the beginning, I would barely be able to climb all the way to the top. I would run out of breath before I reached the end. But now I'm climbing it 6 times back to back without taking a break, which is something that I'm actually very proud of. Alright, let me get my daily workout, and then after we'll go grab some food at the grocery store and we'll prepare a meal together. By the way, I don't know if you're able to see, but people are actually climbing on this rooftop over there. They're jumping over the sledge and then they go over there. Working out during winter has been really tough for me. I feel like it requires a lot of discipline to be able to work out from home. I just can't do it. I need to step outside in order to do any sort of a workout. Alongside increasing my physical activity, I also started counting calories and keeping track of my macros because I've been trying to lose some weight. During the past few months, my weight has gone all the way up to 216 pounds, which is the first time that it happened since I was a teenager. And this month, by doing all those things, I actually got it back down to 208. So that's really good. It was getting to a point before where I was struggling to put shirts on and button up my pants. I didn't feel like redoing my whole wardrobe, But I'm not obsessing over it. That's the thing. I just, want to maintain some kind of health or physical health. And as I said, even on the mental level, I had difficulties too. It was bothering me. It was getting I really felt like I was in a rut. Alright, so I climbed it 6 times, which means that it's a little bit less than probably 1,000 stairs, 900 and something stairs. I'm curious to know your ways of keeping active during the pandemic. Did you guys do anything special? I know it's been really rough for me to find the motivation to do it. But I realize now that motivation is really not the thing that should trigger us to do some things. It seems to me like motivation, we should not wait for it in order to start. Instead, it's really through actions that the motivation arises. Anyway, let's go grocery shopping. I decided to treat myself, but also show you guys my homemade recipe of mac and cheese. So let's go back home and get that prepared. Alright, so I just hopped out of the shower and now let's get ready to cook some food. Before I start, I just want to let you know that all the ingredients that I use, even the spices, I'll put it down below. I also want to give credit where credit is due. This recipe was heavily inspired from this other YouTuber called Cheap Lazy Vegan. If you go over on her channel, you'll see that there are so many good recipes. I really invite you to subscribe to her as well. The link to her video on this recipe will be found down below. So for this recipe, we'll need potatoes, we'll need cashews, carrots, and an onion. Also, we'll be using nutritional yeast, which will give it this kind of cheesy flavor. Pasta, of course. I know this is called a mac and cheese, but to be honest, I usually use other types of pasta than macaroni. I don't know if that's the same for you. I usually use the twisty ones, the rigatonis, I think, or rotini? No, I'm not sure. Well, the twisty ones? That's my favorite. Also, I'll be using olives, garlic, a little bit of oat milk. So the other day I went to Costco, and as you can see, I'm really good at opening boxes. But I tried their oat milk. It's
it's all right. The reason why we bought it is because it seemed like the ingredients and like the nutritional values of it really was similar to Earth's Own, and Earth's Own is our favorite oat milk here. But after trying it, like it's good, but it's not nearly as good as Earth's Own. But since, you know, when you go to Costco, you buy like a lot of everything. I have like, what is 5.6 liter of oat milk to drink or eat before, you know, I go back to Earth's Own. So you can use any plant-based milk that you like, but my favorite by far is oat milk. You'll see in my future recipes that it's always the one that I buy. There's nothing that compares to it, in my opinion. We'll get the dairy-free cheese, the sausages, because we're making this extravaganza type of mac and cheese, not just like the plain basic. If you want the plain basic, you can do it too, but for me, it's just because I like it with, you know, many different thingy things inside. Lemon juice and Dijon mustard. Since I started tracking my calories, I noticed that I get about 700 calories per meal typically. I'm very curious to know how many calories I'll get from this meal. The only thing that's annoying when it comes to counting macros is the time that it adds to preparing your food. Like, to be honest, it's been kind of bothersome when I was cooking. But the advantage over time is that as you get more and more recipe and you save them to your device, I use MyFitnessPal. I don't know if there are any better apps out there, but as you enter ingredients for a recipe and then you create that recipe, then you have it for forever, right? So if you eat similar foods often, like my breakfasts are pretty much always the same, it makes it super quick to just add it. It's just like one press of a button. So the first thing we'll do is that we'll prepare our vegetables. The main ingredients to the sauce for it to be thick is potatoes, carrots, and cashews. It was surprising to me to realize that you could make like a cheesy sauce out of those vegetables. So we'll peel the potato and the carrots and then cut it so they both have similar sizes. We'll add it to some water and we'll add cashews as well. I typically use about 3 medium-sized potatoes, 2 carrots, and a cup of cashew. And that will give me enough sauce for for many portions. So as I said, we'll add it to the water and let it soak until I can poke through it with a fork somewhat easily. Then while this is getting ready to boil, I will also boil some water for the pasta. As you notice, a lot of the steps that I take in the beginning are typically the steps that take the longest. So for the water to boil for the vegetables and the pasta, it takes much longer than to prep the rest. So what it allows us to do is that while this is happening, we can prepare the rest of the meal, and it saves us quite some time. Next, we will cut the sausages and then we will add it to a frying pan to cook it. To keep the calories kind of on the lower end, I will not use oil and instead I will use water. Next, we will prepare the onion and the different spices that will be used for the sauce. And all of it will be put inside of a blender. So we will cut the onion, we'll add the garlic. So the spices that I like to add to the sauce is cumin, turmeric, cayenne pepper, ground mustard, onion powder. If you didn't put an actual onion like I did, I would invite you to add a little bit more. And basil. You will also add Dijon mustard, nutritional yeast, your oat milk or any other plant-based milk. I will use only 1/4 cup to begin with. I would invite you to do the same and not go overboard with the milk as it can destroy that thick texture. I like my sauce to have kind of a smoky flavor, so I'm gonna add liquid smoke. Then when they are ready, add your vegetables to the mix and start blending. Now that this is done, we can assemble the pasta. Add your pastas to a pot that goes into the oven. Add your sausages to it. Add the sauce. Mix it. And finally, add the shreds on top of it. Put it in the oven and turn it to broil. All right, let's take it out of the oven and see what we got. Oh my god, look at this. Not gonna lie guys, it looks amazing. What I love about this cheesy sauce is the texture. It's really thick and filling. It binds the pasta together and the nutritional yeast adds a little cheesy flavor that's amazing. Plus guys, I just added all the ingredients and it actually reaches 618 calories per serving, which is spot on with whatever I'm eating typically.
Okay, so as you can see, I'm wearing new clothes. It's daylight outside, so as you may have guessed, it is the next day. The good thing is that mac and cheese, in my opinion, is probably best reheated, like as a leftover the next day. So that's what I'm having. I actually had it last night, and overall it was good. The only thing I think was missing was a little bit of salt. But aside from this, you can always add it, you know, at the end if you like it saltier or less. You can always add on top of that. And I also added some pepper. But now let me do the same for my lunch because I'm just done with work. So to be honest, this recipe is really quick to make. I think because of the blender, like it's basically you just put pasta and vegetables in water, you let it soak. If you want to add sausages, you can cook them on the side. But then the sauce itself, you just add the vegetables to the spices in the blender and you start the blender. Like it doesn't require for you to do many things in order to have your mac and cheese. And then you broil it in the oven. So the steps are very simple. It's easy to make. And I think it's really worth it because you can make a big batch out of it. And it's much less expensive than if you were to buy a pre-made mac and cheese. I really enjoy making this video. I don't know yet if I'll put it as a vlog because of like that whole gym section, or if I'll put it as like a recipe guide. I guess I'll figure it out when I upload it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you would like to see more of my content. And if you end up trying this recipe, please leave it in the comments, share it with me, and I would like to see your thoughts. Or you can also DM me on Instagram or via Twitter. Before you go, I would invite you to go check out this video where I covered the recipe that I like to do during weekdays when I'm very lazy. It's also very easy. And I'll see you over there. Bye bye.